Greetings to all the population of the earth. My name is Sandra Davis. I'm the mother, and I'm here for you to shorten your time of trouble and to show you the way out of the hard time that you are going through. This is a unique planetary event that has more than meets the eye, and at one level or another you all know that there is more to this than just the virus. In 1995, Michael Jackson singing "Heal the World." That's what we have to do now. We've been working for a long time to heal the world. As you saw in those other clips, artists are already singing about Mother Earth, about the Mother, about calling for the Holy Mother, which did not happen for a very long time. The world had forgotten or didn't even know that there was a Mother. How could it not be? But that's subject for another discussion. My answer to all of that search for the Mother is that all of this time, when everybody was doing their, or most everybody was doing their best, and when so much positive work was happening, so many good people volunteering and helping, like you see these days, it's been going on for a long time in many, many ways. And my answer to that comes with a song again. A song that moved me profoundly and says everything that I would like to say. And it's the answer to all of those who are wondering, what am I doing? I've been working, and you'll know more about my work. And it will be quite a revelation. It will be quite a revelation. And the song that follows is my answer for where I stand. I listened to that song, and it was my heart singing, my heart declaring to all of you every word from that song. Don't give up on me is the song that says everything that I want to say to you. And I'm very grateful for Andy Grammer, and for the children that sing with him, and for the whole world, and for all the people that really want for things to be better. We can do it.
I will fight. I will fight for you. I always do until I will hold on to you. No matter what this world will throw, won't shake me loose. I'll reach my hands out in the dark and wait for yours to until I wait for you. I'll wait for you. 'Cause I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up, no, not yet. Even when I'm down on my last breath. Even when they say there's nothing left. So don't give up on me. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up, no, not me. Even when nobody else believes. I'm not going down that easily. So don't give up on me. And I will fight. I will fight for you. I always do until my heart is black and blue. Yeah.
Yes, I reach my hand and wait for you to interlock because I'm here for you.
I will fight. I will fight for you.
So yes, I will. You'll probably have to put up with my tears for a while. How could I not have them? But our tears make us stronger. Our tears make us be there for each other. I have two prophetic movies to bring to your attention. One is called The Day the Earth Stood Still. Please watch it. We're not under alien attack, but there is an attack unleashed that will have to stop really fast. And I've done a lot of work to stop what's happening right now. And I will explain to you what I've done and how and what is to be done. So that, as I promised, I will shorten the time of your trouble. Those of you who rely on scriptures, you can read in the Bible that if God did not intervene, there would not have been left a stone upon another stone. This is that time where you've done your best, I do the rest. What you cannot do, I do. What you can do, I'm happy to appreciate you and to love you for everything you do. But there are things that you can do more and better if I help you. I have to reveal to you things that you don't know. But when you'll know them, you'll recognize them. They're revealed in science fiction, they're revealed in scriptures, but they are veiled. They are not explicit enough for you to really see the connection to today. There's so many things, so many science fiction books and movies and comics about time, back in time, back from the future, trapped in time, everything about time loops, and yet I have not heard one person talking about what I'm talking about now, about the connection to what's happening right now and the anti-time, with the timeline, lifeline that is being affected in a way that we can control much better. But you have to know how. You have to know what is this. There are some things that only I can do. You cannot. And that's with all gratefulness for all the divinities that do wonderful work. But they have their specialties. There are things that only I can do, and that is where they make sure that they call me to work and they say, hey, you have to do this. Or they don't have to call me anymore. They signal, but by the time they come with a message, I'm already at work, because I know what I have to do. Together with the Father, I would stop this in a blink of an eye. It would be, you'll wonder what happened, and you'll know that that's the hand of God expressed in the fullness. When Mother and Father will work together on the problems that people, deities, divinities, planets, stars, angels, archangels, all types of realities have, there'll be just work in progress with joy, with interest, and that's the outmost of the evolution that we are heading to. If I was here at this table with the Father, with the embodiment of the Father, we're working on all levels, from the human to the micro-universe to the macro-universe, working together, the two of us, would put an end to this crisis, to this devastation. We'll put an end so fast until He will have the liberty to appear, to be right here at my table. Until then, He does what the best, and He does great work behind the scenes, keeping us safe. And I work in ways where I address those life issues. And I've done a lot of work with all the strains of the virus that would have been much more powerful and that are in the process of disappearing. And I will explain to you how that happens. It's not done. So keep precautions, listen to the medical professionals, listen to the scientists, to the government that tells you to stay put, stay in, protect yourself, but also learn from me some things that will make you stronger. I'm not coming here to change the trend. I come to give you more strength, more understanding, and to empower you to overcome this in a much shorter time. At the same time, I'm weakening what produced the virus. Because that virus was produced not in laboratories. It's not the work of some scientist with a microscope. No, this is something that's surrounding the planet, and it's working in other levels and in other dimensions, and that's been infested the micro-universe. Imagine the universe is in people and in everything alive. The micro-universe has these things floating that have to be stopped from reaching beings, but also they have to stop from reaching anything. They'll just have to release what they hold and disappear, because they're holding something very precious. They're holding the life, the heart of the life that everybody depends on. Releasing the heart of the life that everybody depends on, there will just be nothing. Just proteins that dissolve. But what captured the heart of the life that everybody depends on, there are many other forms of life, but that type of life that everybody depends on, captured within that molecular structure that is encapsulated by a group of malefic intelligences, more exactly intellects, malefic intellects of great magnitudes, the kind of intellects that move the stars, that knew how to focus on and how to affect the timelines and the life that everybody depends on. This is why such a tremendous reaction to save life, save life, save life. And I have to teach you more other than dealing with the malefic intellects, so that life is released and then those proteins are nothing. They could be markers for one thing or another. Yeah, they have a sequence that is affecting the function at the cellular level, that's interfering with the breath of life, to the point where people who are more vulnerable need respirators, need ventilators. Those who are a little bit stronger can manage with oxygen. But it is about life being captive to the point where the breath of life is controlled by malefic intellects that want to design everything according to their own view. They are willing to sacrifice everything. They are willing to turn everything into a cosmic soup, the way they did it when they provoked the Big Bang, which was not a moment of creation. That was the outmost of destruction of wonderful things that existed before. I'll tell you more about that. But the way they did with the Big Bang, that's how they wanted to do now. They wanted every endeavor, every civilization, everything they developed was pushed to collapse. Everything that was going ahead was pushed to collapse. And now they're going for the final strike so that they can play with our body parts, so that they can play the way they played in the Garden of Eden. Take a piece of Adam and make a woman. That's cloning. That whole religious truth, it happened. I know, I'll tell you more about that as well. But it happened. That was cloning. And then, okay, the clone is weaker, so she'll have to serve him. And they have to stay together. Why? Because she was a piece of him. He was not whole, and she was just a piece of somebody else. And the intellect today would do anything to make babies in the tube, anything but avoid the reverence to life, the reverence to what is sacred. The seeds for agriculture, we modify them. Nature, God did not make wheat good enough. They have to do genetical engineering. The earth does not nourish fruit and vegetables and and all the crops enough, we'll have to put there some chemicals that will come through the plants. A waste, an intoxication, and then find the commercial merits for that. Rather than birds eating bugs and keeping the farmers knowing how to use the natural processes so that they can have a good crop, and birds fly happily, birds and bees are affected by the chemicals that are put. People are waking up and they're working on that. Another time we talk more about, I will tell you more about this, and I'll be happy to have somebody here to talk about that with me. My show, after all, is called Dialogues with the Mother. But the intellect has to start to learn the limits, have to understand better, and the intellectual beings have to know that they are brighter if they understand and respect and work with what functions, not damage everything that works, so that they can show that they are better and they can make it better. I have great respect for science, great respect for intellectuals. But science and intellectuals have to start showing more respect for the planet, not plan to pierce it at the bottom of the ocean to make it to the magma to see how the magma reacts if they go there. Let the planet be. They wouldn't like me to pierce their heads to see how their brains work. I'll have to be a little bit more gentle, so you'll see my tougher ways another time. I'm not hiding that. If I need to take the bull by the horns, no problem. But most of you deserve the understanding and the love and the gentleness that is more my nature than a little bit of what you see right now. Now you see a little bit of both. What has to happen now is that you'll have to work with me on what I can teach you so that you could see a much sooner end to the problems that are tormenting the planet right now. Like I said it in some previous video, if I just stay aside, do my work and let you do yours, without me, you'll come through. But the losses will be unimaginable. I don't want to see that much loss. You don't want to have that much loss. If everything is science, and if everything is an intellectual process, then you are getting the short end. It's something that you can rely on. But scientists, true scientists, are honest to say, we don't know. Dr. Anthony Fauci, whom I admired a lot, said that politicians don't make the timetable. that doctors don't make the timetable. The virus makes it. That was inspired. Somehow he had some intuitive reading of the fact plus his scientific knowledge, which I totally respect. Because he knows when to say we don't know, we need to understand more, or sometimes he says God knows. We try our best and we have to verify and we have to make sure that what we say is true and it's helpful. So total appreciation. But he's talking about the virus making the timing. The timing that the virus and the entity that worked with the virus made would have stretched for such a long time with such devastation that we cannot let the virus make the timing. And here's where doctors come in with everything that they can do, like don't let the virus spread, take care of yourself, take care of each other, do not allow the virus to spread. That's one way in which we don't let the virus do what has had the potential to do. See, has had is because the dynamic is such that there is a immediate change in many places and there are many other changes that still have to happen. Another way, doctors saving lives do not allow the virus to take all the lives that the virus would have taken. Because the way the virus is gaining momentum to become even more devastating is feeding on the lives that is taking. Taking the lives, the virus feeds on it. If you ever watched television series Atlantis, the virus is like the wraith that are taking the life. And those who are strong still manage, and those who are more vulnerable unfortunately don't. Preventing the virus to have the power to take the lives and helping people to be strong. Between the work that I do, the work that I will gladly do as soon as the Father and I can be at the same table, we literally have to be in a very close proximity so that His light and my light would start through the world, the light that would sweep the virus like it never was. It would sweep a lot of other things that people should have never had. A lot of other micro-universe components that have violated the micro-universe. More about the effect of mother and father together, helping all the families and all the beings on earth and beyond, will be discussed another time. So right now remember, empower your life, protect your life, fight for your life. I will fight for you, and I already did. But there's more, there's layer after layer at work. I will explain to you how those things work in the next video, where I'll give you details and outlines. Right now you just have to know that prayer, faith, meditation, spiritual awakening, everything helps. Good nutrition. Since you are at home, watch the movies that make you laugh. There'll be a time for crying. If I think of that, I start to cry. It's there, the cry is there. But have just enough tears to be strong, and rise above the tears to be strong. Like many of you are saying, we will make it on the other side. Let's work together to minimize the losses. And those who stay the way, who keep the Father busy so that He can watch our back but never make it here, they're invited to get out of the way so that Mother and Father can help everybody. So if you want to put your desire and prayer at work for the best outcome for all of you, pray and demand that all intruders that want to stay between Mother and Father have to step out of the way. It's not just Mother, it's not just Father, it's Mother and Father. That is how the divine family works. That is how the human family works. It's best when the two work together. Watch for the next video where I will give you very exact knowledge of how this works and what to do to overcome sooner. And I will continue to help. I'll do my work, and the work that I will do with you will help you for years to come. Because restoring the timelines will stop the devastation now, but will have aspects that have to be addressed before they come to create another wave. Right now our task is to stop this and to prevent the next one. We can do it. I know how. We know how to do it. We'll just have to do it. I'll let you watch the two most inspired movies for this particular time. One is called The Day the Earth Stood Still, and the other one is called In Time. You'll understand the reference to time as you watch In Time. I'll make two separate videos where I will explain some things to you as you watch The Day the Earth Stood Still, and then I will explain some things to you about In Time, but just watch them. Right now I just let you watch a few clips that are from the trailers of the movie, but pay attention to these prophetic movies that show you something that you have to take in consideration. One is to change willingly, to give up some undue extensions of your pleasures for the sake of greater joy, greater life, and better world. And the other movie, In Time, will have you to see how dependent is life on time. I'll teach you how to have your life infinite. Everything is ready for infinite life. Now you need to understand how to longevity is already increasing. But how to be strong and how to live as long as people should live. And as you become divine, as long as divine beings shall live, and so on, and then you become divinity as long as divinity shall live, as a continuous evolution that gives you the marvels of the universe. You don't need to fight on a piece of land. Kiss the ground for giving you fruit. Don't throw bombs on a piece of land. That's supposed to be a holy place. You don't need to fight for anything. You just have to learn to appreciate and to evolve into the splendor of a universal life. I will say again, my love for you all. Watch the clips and watch the movies. And in the next video, I'll give you details about how to overcome, how individually to overcome what you are going through right now. How to put an end to the devastation, and how to come out of it with minimum losses and never have this happen again. My love to you all. Soon I will have great news for you and a great relief. Right now, between this point and the end of the video, I invite you to watch part of a trailer from the movie In Time and part of the trailer from the movie The Day the Earth Stood Still. In the end, you will see the direction, the solution, with a wonderful clip from Men of La Mancha with the amazing Peter O'Toole. I don't have words to describe what Peter O'Toole was. And he's in the hearts of those who've seen him throughout his career. Why these three clips? Because we're dealing with a pandemic based on time problems, on time distortions and interruption of timelines that lead to the interruption of life, that literally takes the breath of life. And problems with time are due to problems with law and values. When laws are broken and values are dispersed, problems with time occur, problems with duration of life occur. That combined with anti-time intervention has such a tremendous effect that it engages the universe and the divine levels in questioning the rights of the human population to the earth. So as you see in The Day the Earth Stood Still, some extraterrestrial beings choose to protect the earth by attacking the population of the earth that they consider dangerous and unworthy. You are neither dangerous nor unworthy, and you are not under extraterrestrial attack. But there are forces that have misled the population, that created situations that escalated lawlessness, that escalated aggression against all values. And when aggression of all values becomes dangerous for the earth and for the universe, both earth and universe have to resolve it. The forces that chose to attack the population did not proceed in a godly way, and they had no right, after everything that people have been through so many millennia of mistreatment of people, of deception, of withholding of knowledge from people, blocking of the evolutionary pathways, blocking of understanding ever since the Tower of Babel. It was, oh, we don't meant to reach out to God, so let's mix their languages. That was not godly. That was not anything that any legitimate deity would do. But the forces that laid themselves between people and the higher levels, their own higher beings and their own deities and their own divinities, wanted to keep people from the higher quality and from the true evolution and from their own longevity, so that they can misuse them like they have. And of course, the legitimate deities and divinities stepped in, and we know that both prophets and deities and saints have been mistreated when they came to change things. It was not easy to come to today. It was not easy to have a future for the population of the earth with the attacks against the population. Why? Because this earth population is the population of deities and divinities for the future of the universe, for the future of existence. And some demiurgos wanted to control that. They didn't want to allow the rightful order. First they misled and mistreated, and then they came to misuse them further, to abuse them and to yank them out of their own existence, out of their own time, out of their own right to be and to make their choices. Yank them before they will have a chance to know the truth and to enjoy the better future. We are on the threshold of the better. We passed the threshold of the better future. It's just that those of us who passed that threshold have to help the other ones that fell on their knees or got stuck somewhere on the road. And we do not leave our people behind, as you see in Stargate. If some people don't make it this time, we'll make sure we'll bring them back. But first we do our best to keep them here now, because they are somebody's parents, somebody's daughters, somebody's lovers. They are somebody who matter for somebody, for themselves as well, but for all who love them. So you have my utmost devotion and love into making sure that we'll do everything that needs to be done to stop the pandemic, not only from continuing at this time, but for never ever coming back to people. After this, we'll enter such a beautiful time. We'll enter fully the golden era, a golden era that will go on forever. A golden era where civilizations don't rise and crush. A golden era where there'll be no death. As we cry for those that are taken now, as we are grateful for those that overcome, we are eager and ready to welcome a time with no death. A line that I like in the movie In Time is that, and it's so true, no one should live forever if anybody should die. You're misled to think that death is acceptable, that it's part of this and that. You know what death mostly was. There's hardly anything left of that entity. I chose the clip from Men of La Mancha to give you a respite as you watch that, to let you see the beauty of talent, of ideals, and some of the points of what it takes to reach the unreachable star, to beat the unbeatable foe. That's my mission. That's what I want to help all of you to achieve, to reach the unreachable star. Kindly listen, and you'll never have to be worried about the earth standing still. If you fulfill another line that I like in Time, if you change time, you change the world. In other words, if you respect the law, all kinds of law, laws of nature, we'll discuss details about that. If you respect the law, and if you uphold values, if you work with all for return to values, time will flow smooth, and your future will be more amazing than anything that you could imagine. Again, all my devotion and love.
Just want something to have more time in my hand than hours in the day.
Where's the rest?
Never met the quota.
My units are up from last week.
So's the quota. 2 hours.
It's always been an hour.
Now it's 2. Price went up.
It's a 2-hour walk. I have an hour and a half.
Then you better run.
The poor are meant to die. It's how the system works. What the hell's that supposed to mean?
You really don't know, do you?
How old are you in real time? 28.
I'm 105. The truth is, there's more than enough time for everyone. There are men with 1,000,000 years while most live day to day.
For a few to be immortal, many must die. No one should be immortal if even one person has to die.
Come on, help yourselves!
Take the time, it's free.
Where did you get that?
We can't have 1,000 years in the wrong hands. It could cripple the system.
I will stop him.
The problem is, everybody wants to live forever.
We're not meant to live forever.
His crime wasn't taking time. He was giving it away.
We're getting images of these spheres from all over the world.
Are you aware of an impending attack on planet Earth?
Yes.
Why have you come to our planet?
Your planet.
I need to know what's happening. We can change.
The decision is made.
You could stop this if you wanted to.
The process has begun.
Oh, God. Where's it heading?
Everywhere.
The mission of each true knight is duty. Nay, is privilege.
To dream the impossible dream, to fight the unbeatable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, to run where the brave dare not go, to right the unrightable wrong, to love pure and chaste from afar, to try when your arms are too weary, to reach the unreachable star. This is my quest, to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to fight for the right without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. And I know if I'll only be true to this glorious quest, that my heart will lie peaceful and calm when I'm laid to my rest. And the world will be better for this, that one man scorned and covered with scars still strove with his last ounce of courage to reach the unreachable star.
So important?
Everything. My whole life. You spoke to me. And everything was different.
I spoke to you?
And you looked at me. And you called me by another name. Dulcinea. Dulcinea. Once you found a girl and called her Dulcinea. When you spoke the name, an angel seemed to whisper, Dulcinea, Dulcinea.
Then perhaps it was not a dream.
You spoke of a dream. And about the quest.
A quest?
How you must fight. And it doesn't matter whether you win or lose. If only you follow the quest.
What did I say to you? Tell me the words.
To dream. The impossible dream. But they are your own words. To fight. The unbeatable foe. Don't you remember? To bear with unbearable sorrow. You must remember. To run where the brave dare not go.
Right. The unrightable wrong.
Yes.
To love, pure and chaste from afar.
Yes.
To try when your arms are too weary. To reach the unreachable star.
Thank you, my lord.
My lady, this is not seemly.
On your knees to me.
But my lord, you're not well.
Not well? What is sickness to the body of a knight-errant? What matter wounds? For each time he falls, he will rise again, and woe to the wicked! Sancho! Hear your grace! My armor, my sword! More misadventures! Adventures, old friend! Oh, the trumpets of glory now call me to ride. Yes, the trumpets are calling to me. And wherever I ride, ever staunch at my side, my squire and my lady will be. I am I, Don Quixote, the Lord of La Mancha. Our destiny calls and we go. And the wild winds of fortune will carry us onward, whithersoever they blow. Whithersoever they blow. Onward to glory we go. Master! Master!
Uncle!
Master!
My lord.
Courage.
To dream the impossible dream. To fight the unbeatable foe. To bear with unbearable sorrow.
Where the brave dare not go. To run where the brave dare not go. Though the goal be forever too far. To try, though you're wayward and weary. To reach the unreachable.